Hi, and welcome to the 46th video of Old Guys Gentlemen Flippers. And today what I'm going to be reviewing is the Reate Knives' new Epoch frame lock knife. It's black and it has the Moku titanium inlay. I have one other Reate that I like. I think this is the Horizon. And it also has the Moku titanium on the clip here. And this one's kind of a bear. It kind of shakes in my hand when I open it up. But I've grown to really kind of like this knife. Anyhow, so this is how the Epoch came. It's numbered number 381. There wasn't any documentation on other than having it numbered right there and on the knife itself, but I guess that's okay. I don't collect knives for their value. I collect them for the fun of having them. So it comes in a nice case like the other Reate knife came with. By the way, I looked at a Blade Show video. Is it Reate? Is it Reate? Or is it Reate? And the guy putting together the video asked the gentleman who I think who owns Reate knives, and he confirmed that it's a Reate. So that was a mystery solved for me. Okay, some of the specs on this thing. It is 8.25 inches long. The blade length is 3.5 inches, which is kind of a perfect length for me. I don't like to go over 4 inches. I don't like to go under 3 inches. Thickness is 0.16 inches, which makes it a fairly thin blade. The blade material is CTS 204P, which is the Carpenter version of M390, which is my favorite steel. This one I think is a little bit harder because it took a while to get the edge. I put a 16-degree edge on this. Oh, let's admire the edge. This is a Wicked Edge sharpening system, and trust me, it is very, very sharp. So that's the edge. It's a drop point size, flat blade grind. But one of the nice things is there are flats here, and that's enough, at least on the Wicked Edge system and probably on the KME system, to grab it right there and get a nice flat grind without having to pad things or shim things to make it fit right. It's got a stonewash finish, which is really pretty, and I like it. But one thing that's kind of unusual about it is I use a magic marker to tell where I'm at with my stones. I'm putting an edge in here, and I had a hell of a time. 99% alcohol didn't take it off. Lighter fluid didn't take it off. WD-40 didn't take it off. Finally, I had to use some acetone. Acetone took it off. I thought that was unusual, but it came off, so it worked out fine. The handle thickness is a little over 1/2 inch, which is on the thicker side, but it's not too bad. It feels good in the hand. It's 5.58 ounces, which is a little bit heavier than a lot of my knives, but I've grown to appreciate some of the heavier knives now, so it doesn't really bother me. It is set up for tip-up right hand only, so lefties are out on this one. The flipper mechanism is a standard light switch kind of. I don't think a push button doesn't work. The flipper's too far up. Made in China. So I think that's it on the specs. Now the stuff I like about it is that it's conservative knife, and I like that. I don't like things that are too snazzy, but it's got a little splash of color with this Moku tie, which is 2 different titanium materials that are put together to get this nice, cool kind of Damascus effect, but with color using titanium. I do think that it almost seems like an afterthought that they put that in there. But I appreciate little bits of color whenever I can get it. I guess if I were to design this thing, I might have put this in deeper, but then maybe you couldn't see it as well. So maybe it's fine the way it is. I mean, I like the look of the knife. Fit and finish is really good, except this lock bar screw here. Let's see if I get that. You know, it comes out a little bit above the edge of the lock bar here, and that edge was really pretty sharp. So I took that out and kind of worked it down on a polishing stone and fixed that. But I was kind of surprised. I said I shouldn't be surprised. I've seen that on some really expensive Shirogorov knives as well. Every now and then, something like that you'll feel, and you know, I just got to take care of it. Let me see, I mentioned the steel is a little bit harder, I think, just based on sharpening. It came with 95% of what you would get with a Shirogorov action. This is the 95P. Nice hard, kind of feel it in your half your arm when you open it, and a really smooth close. So this almost had that when I first had it, but you could feel the D10 ball rubbing against the stone wash. So what I've been doing lately with all these is getting in there and polishing with multi-polishing compounds on the track. So there still is a little bit of that, but it has that nice closed shut, just like on the nice open. The opening is just like a Shirogorov, and this is probably just as good of a close as well. It was easy to disassemble. You do need 2 screws, and you know, most of my knives use T8s. These are like T10s, I think. And you need 2 to open them up, at least initially. Now, for some reason, I can just do it with 1. These are T8s. They were all easy to open. 3 of them there make this a really solid unit together. The sharpening was pretty easy to do. This is a real classic shape. No recurves going on. I didn't have any problem with the heel of the blade here. In fact, you know, usually I get back and hit this part, but I didn't. So I was pleased with that, in conjunction with having these flats here. Small flats though they are. The grip is good, not great. There's jimping here. There's a little bit of jimping on the flipper. The shape of this thing and the fact that this isn't totally, you know, it's kind of a flat surface. I'm not using the right words here. It's not slippery. So it's pretty good. I mean, it could be made a little bit better. Oh no, there's a lot of jimping here, so maybe that's why. All right, that knife's not going anywhere. So the grip on this is pretty good. The price was just kind of okay. It was $425. You know, I'd be spending $200 to $400 more on a Shirogorov. You know, this is close to $2,000. I think this was $650. So it's a bargain compared to a Shirogorov. It's a pretty good knife. The blade finish, with the exception of the problem I had with the marker, I really kind of like. I talked about the screw being a little bit of a problem, and I talked a little bit about how I needed to get in there and polish it. And let me take that back. I didn't need to polish it. It would have been fine for almost anybody else who owns the knife, but I always strive for Shirogorov quality, and I think I came pretty close on this one. And I think the other thing I mentioned is the Moku tie is really pretty, but it just kind of looks like a little blob they put on there. Would have been interesting to be part of their design discussions about how to incorporate some Moku tie on this thing. So I think that's it. This is definitely going to be in my top, maybe my top 5 knives The action is just really good. It looks great. I'm becoming a fan of Reate knives, that's for sure. So hopefully this was some value for you. And until next time, goodbye.